a big shot unless we talking about hip-hop. Bad at TikTok, but I'll make movies like Hitchcock. Challenge Mitch, you'll barely make it like trick shots. Check your wristwatch, it's time for you all to quit, stop trying me. I'ma be honest, I'm pretty glad no labels eyeing me. I'm independent and I don't want nobody buying me.
Yo, what up everybody, this is Mitch Darrell, and today I'm here to talk to you about my full review, full thoughts on WHATUPRG's new Hollywood album. So most of y'all, I think, have seen that I stayed up till midnight the night the album came out, and I did a full reaction and review to the album. But now that it's been a few days and I've had time to listen to it without the camera in front of me, just kind of out in my car, in my AirPods, at the gym, all that, I have my full thoughts and kind of my reactions to different comments I got on my video and comments I've seen and heard about the album as a whole from other artists, from fans, right? So here's where I'm coming from, right? For those of you that don't know, I'm a Christian hip hop artist and have been since about 2018-ish. So kind of newer. And I'm also newer to the space of Christian hip hop, seeing that I didn't know Christian hip hop existed until I became an artist myself, right? So not that long. But as with a lot of things in my life, when I get into them, I kind of just like get to going. Like I become a fan quickly. I do research quickly to be in the know on things, right? So I've researched a ton of artists, listened to all types of artists, and of course, Indie Tribe came across my playlist. I'm big fans of them, and of course, that led me to Reach and everything. So RG is somebody who I would say, up until his last project that came out about 4 years ago, his EP that talked about his father and deeper emotional type stuff like that, hadn't heard a lot of music from him, right? I'd heard features. There's a song Be a Man on No Big Deal's Solar album that I like a lot that has RG on it. But I hadn't listened to a lot of RG's solo stuff, right? So other than his last project and a couple of singles, I didn't have a expectation for how RG typically sounds in songs, right? So when I heard this album, for me, it wasn't like such a shock. It wasn't like, this is not what I was expecting, or this is way different than the RG I'm used to, because I hadn't heard all that much of RG, right? The number one critique I saw of the album from fans, from other artists, are from people who probably have listened to RG much longer, and I'm taking this from them, right? They are saying that this music is so different from what RG typically does that it caught them off guard. They thought it was going to be something else. It sounded completely different than what they thought, and they either didn't like it, they're disappointed, or it's going to take them a while to get used to it, right? So I can understand that, right? Being like a big fan of certain artists, if No Big Deal started making a bunch of country songs in his next album, I'd be kind of like, well, that's nothing like what I'm used to from him. I was expecting this and got this, so I get that. As far as my thoughts, being with the limited amount of RG I've heard, it wasn't too far off, and I kind of like all different types of sounds, and I like when people are experimental. So I thoroughly liked the album for the reasons that people didn't necessarily love the album. So a lot of the comments under my reaction video were that, oh, it's too experimental. There was not enough rapping. And for me, I'm like, that's why I love it. Honestly, as much as I love rap, I listen to what I call wavy music way more. And this has a lot of examples of that, right? So the experimental nature of it, the experimental production, the grandiose, like the ad-libby type stuff, and just like the focus on the production is something I love a lot, and something that I don't hear a lot of in Christian hip hop. So I appreciated that. I don't necessarily need a bunch of rapping to be on a project, especially because, and I don't know how clear this was made to maybe the listening public, but for me, I heard weeks ago that it was supposed to be a Christian album and not necessarily a Christian rap album. So I wasn't really expecting a lot of rapping to be on there. From what I know of RG, he doesn't rap a lot in the way you typically think of rapping, right? Like maybe, I don't know, Jay Monty. I didn't expect that, right? So when it wasn't a lot of rap on there, I wasn't like, oh, where's the rap? You know? It sounds like a lot of people in the comments were like, there's not enough rap on here for me. Something I had a conversation with some artists about, and some peers of mine, is I try my best not to have too many expectations before a big release or any project, really, because that's when you get let down. No matter if it's good, bad, whatever, if you're expecting A and you get B, you're going to be sad and you're going to be disappointed because it's not what you expected, whether it's good or bad. Like, for example, if No Big Deal dropped amazing country music, I might still be like, this isn't what I wanted though. Like, I don't know if it's good or bad because it's not what I was expecting. So you got to try to be open-minded. Be open to the fact that RG hasn't dropped in 4 years. So of course the music's going to sound different. Like, there's a reason it took so long. It was probably going to sound different from what he typically put out. And I think, I, as an artist and as a fan of artists who evolve, I think that that's a good thing. I thoroughly enjoyed the project. I've listened to it multiple times. My standout tracks, I have 2 that are like super standout, and they're back to back. It is Running and Sober are 2 of the best songs on here to me. And what's funny is I feel like they might be, I think everyone likes Sober. I don't think I've heard a lot of people saying that they like Running as much as me, which is funny because I hate running in real life. But this song, Running, is super fire. I love the song Human. I love the song MySpace, Melatonin. I love the song Hollywood. Those are probably my big standouts. But overall, like, even the songs I don't necessarily love still kind of fit in the course of the album. It's a very cohesive body of work, which I also appreciate. That doesn't happen a lot, right? Nowadays, I feel like it's just a lot of playlist type albums or a lot of singles. This is like, you need to listen to it from beginning to end. Kind of tells a story. It's very much meant to be a project, an album to be digested together, which I really rock with. I'm always happy when an artist is willing to go outside of what's expected, is willing to go outside of the box to really try some new things. Because honestly, he probably knew that his core fans might be confused or might be like, I was expecting something else. But ultimately, as the artist, it's up to you to live with what you put out. You put it out. Of course, you have fans and people who have expectations, but ultimately it's your music and it's going to last forever and it's yours. So if you're going to stamp your name on something, you're going to want it to be something that you like, something that you wanted to do. So I'm sure he's proud of it. I think it's solid. I think it's already in my top 10 Christian hip hop albums of the year. I'm not exactly sure where yet, but I don't see a way that this doesn't make it. Again, think of it as a Christian album. If you listen to it once, you didn't necessarily love it, listen to it again with an open mind. Don't think about what you're used to hearing RG do. Don't think about what you wanted it to be. Don't go into it thinking this is a Christian rap album. Just think this is Christian music. This is an artist who hasn't put out music in a while, who's gone through a lot since his last project, and he's trying something different, right? Definitely has some influences. I would say Kanye is a very clear influence. Travis Scott, maybe a little bit, maybe Kid Cudi, kind of that Kanye camp. At the same time, I don't feel like it sounded like he was trying to be Kanye or Travis Scott. It just sounded like, I like these guys, and there's some things that they do that I want to kind of try to incorporate and do in my own way. I think he did a solid job of that. I enjoy the album. Like I said, even the songs I don't necessarily love, I get why they're there. I think they fit. And yeah, I just want people to kind of be open-minded. Don't necessarily put your favorite artist in a box, even if you feel like they've done that themselves. Allow them the room to grow, because ultimately, I mean, maybe you want the artist to make the same song forever, but I feel like for the most part, you should want your favorite artist to branch out and to grow and to do more, right? So yeah, give it another listen. Shout out RG, shout out Reach Records. I'm a fan of New Hollywood. I rock with it, man. I think it was worth the wait. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Praise God. Peace.